Hi, I'm Alan McIlroy from Berthon International, and today I would like to show you over the Sweden Yachts 45 from 2001 SWEYA. We've always had a soft spot for the Sweden Yachts, for anyone wanting that sort of Swedish build but wrapped up in a very nice hull. Sweden Yachts have been a bit of a default choice, really. This is a particularly good example, owned and sailed out of our marina here in Leamington by a family of experienced sailors. She's been well loved in recent years and subject to sort of a programme of constant upgrade and maintenance. Nice shiny blue top sides, and those were painted by us back in 2010 actually. Stepping along the dock here to give you a view. Recent spray hood there by Sanders, which you can see extends quite far back over the cockpit, offering superb protection in the cockpit. Large central wheel, and it's got aft locker lids up there as well, which I'll come back to. So stepping on board the Sweden Yachts, one thing that you will notice is the lovely clean side decks. The yacht sports a masthead self-tacking headsail and fully battened main. Of course, the self-tacker then leaving the side decks nice and uncluttered. Moving forward to the bow, we have a Furlex furler there on the headsail. She carries both symmetric and asymmetric spinnakers, so we've got the stubby bowsprit on the starboard side there and a carbon spinnaker pole and a sleeve on the port side. And the self-tacking track for the headsail. This, I have to say, renders the boat a doddle to drive around, especially going upwind, of course. Glance up the rig. And radar, the starboard side of the mast there. It's like aft sweep in the spreaders. So GRP superstructure and hull and teak-led side decks. The stowage on this boat for a boat of this class is enormous. We have a full depth sail locker here on the foredeck. And there are further two cavernous lazarettes in the cockpit on both port and starboard. Just when we see them there, the hatches all have new lenses and the saloon windows replaced as well in recent years. Life raft snugly fitted in between the vents on the coach roof there, and the mainsail track nicely located out of the cockpit. Full cockpit bimini. And that's quite recent as well. So you can see the two large lazarettes I mentioned on both port and starboard. The centre of the transom is hinged and folds back to create a walkway and a step through to the sea. 3 winches either side there, 2 of which are electric. All control lines are led aft on 2 banks of jammers, both port and starboard, so the entire rig can be handled fairly effortlessly from the cockpit. Hydraulic backstays. Pedestal there, new plotter, and the plotter and sailing instrumentation was updated in 2019, as was the autopilot, and the rudder was dropped with new bearings in 2019 as well. Very comfortable little seat backs there, as you can see, out on the push pit. So sitting on the side deck with your back against that is the ultimate sailing position, I have to say. Long cockpit seats, ideal for stretching out on. And there is also a cockpit table. See hatches either side there of the companionway, which bring extra light and ventilation into the aft cabins. A couple of cockpit speakers there, either side of the companionway, along with the new bank of Raymarine I-Series sailing instrumentation. And you'll see the trough there just in front of the instrumentation that houses the spray hood nicely when it's folded down. A couple of nice stainless grab rails there either side of the companionway. So stepping below, I think the interior of the Sweden can only be described as fairly opulent. The detailing is superb throughout. Satin mahogany finish, teak and holly inlay cabin sole. The galley with a granite-styled Korean work surface there. Twin stainless sinks. It's very well appointed. 2 fridges. The first stainless fridge freezer. And then the top loading fridge freezer on the work surface, which, as you can see, is fairly cavernous. Glance forward to the nav station. Again, here we have the 24-volt distribution. Here are breakers for the service and engine batteries, and 230-volt distribution as well. The Raymarine VHF there, which is a command mic in the cockpit as well. External speaker, another repeater on the nav instrumentation, standalone GPS and nav techs. You're just picking up there on the fiddles around that nav station, which I think are a good representation of the cabinetry and fit out throughout. A couple of comfy chairs to starboard. This particular Sweden Yacht, the saloon was based more on the Sweden Yachts 50. And port large U-shaped saloon seating with a beautiful saloon table and some nice inlay. Stepping forward, we have the owner's cabin, the large offset double berth to port, and storage above. Some nice accent lighting there as well. You just see the mast sleeve to the left. Drawers below the berth as well. And to starboard, we have a central seat with hanging lockers to the left and right of that. So ample stowage throughout. It's a small detail, but most of the cabin sole running through the central bilge, the sole boards are hinged, allowing you to lift them for access, but they do make useful additional stowage as well. So stepping forward to the owner's ensuite. Really sensibly trimmed out, largely in moulded GRP and then trimmed in satin varnished mahogany. Shower forward. The forward bulkhead on that shower, by the way, is the bulkhead through to the full depth sail locker in the bow, so it gives you an idea of the size of that locker as well. Very clean, but yet very stylish. Enough satin wooden trim to make it look really quite opulent, but by the same token easily cleaned and maintained. Returning to the saloon, looking aft. There are two cabins with port and starboard. These are doubles, and the dayheads on starboard. Deckhead lighting and reading lights are all LED. Vent for the Ebbsbacher heating as well, just when I see it. So stepping into the dayheads, manual marine WC and well-appointed sink and mixer faucet there. And teak rating. Just all clean, smart and tidy. Looking aft into the starboard double. Port and starboard cabins pretty much mirror themselves with ample double berths, both fitted with an infill, so they can run effectively as two singles as well. This one is set up as a double at present, with a small seat and hanging wardrobe. And again, Lumar opening hatches both into the cockpit and above the cabin as well, so allowing lots of light and ventilation into those cabins. You see the port cabin. Abundance of stowage and shelving, and so you can see the detail there of the infill. Detail of the companionway. It's a nice, fairly shallow angle on the companionway step, so the access is really quite nice. Particularly good access to the engine bay. The steps are on rams. And the front does come away as well for additional maintenance. A very tidy looking Volvo TMD 22, and that's about 78 horsepower. Recent sail drive diaphragm in that as well, so that's been taken care of. So there we have it, the Sweden Yachts 45 SWEYA from 2001, currently afloat here in our marina in Leamington and available to view 7 days.